All right, looks like we are ready to go. Hey everybody, this is Debo. This is season so far, episode number 4. Every 5 days, I try to usually every 5 days, or maybe a little bit more, but I've been doing it about every 5 days. I'll talk about the progress I've been making in seasons, and talk about what's going on in the Diablo world, from people's opinions about what they think the game should change, and to recent exploits or different things that happen, or different things going in the Diablo. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into what I've been working on so far. If you guys see, I've been running a Jade build. It's a speed farm build. It's been working pretty well. I've been averaging about 8 minutes on the full T6 Act 1 clear by myself solo, and then solo in T6 Rifts has been about, I'd say about 3 minutes and 30 seconds around. So I've been working on that, trying to optimize the build and do the best I can. Just before anybody says it, well, Monk and Barb can do it a lot faster. I'm just doing this because some people requested it, and they don't want to re-roll another class just to farm faster or be able to just sprint through everything. They want to be able to do it on their Witch Doctor because they like playing it. So that's why I've been throwing it together real quick. Typical J build. I won't go too much over the pieces, but I know it does use. I'm using Wreath of Lightning for the speed increase, the Boon of the Hoarder for the gold pickup, so we can get that increase to speed, and then also Bane the Tramp to amp up the damage. But that's neither here or there. I'll be making this build public in a couple days. I'll have the complete guide out with all my timers and everything like that I've been recording. I did about 20 runs on T6 and 20 runs on bounties. So I'm going to do one more test session, about another 10 to bring it up to 30. So we'll have 30 recorded T6 runs and 30 bounty runs to kind of let people know realistically how fast it can go. I'm also going to end up doing another speed run build or speed farming build with the Ticklet and Visage with the Permafear, and also utilizing this ring. Where is it at? There it is, with the Ritual's Ring of Larceny, which gives a 57% increased movement speed for 4 seconds. I'm going to probably roll off the Dexterity and for a socket since it didn't roll in, but that's going to be coming out soon as well. And like I said, it's just a way so if people want to come in, maybe long day at the work or school, or you don't have that much time, or you just want to focus on farming bounties or T6 and just get the runs done really quick, these builds will be able to let you know what's going on and what would be the best way about going about getting as many runs in as you can as a Witch Doctor. Of course, if you play in a group and you do split bounties or speedrun T6, it will go significantly faster. Or if you play a Barbarian or a Monk solo, it will go faster. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. But if you wanted to play Witch Doctor and you wanted to farm fast and you want to go through the Jade or the Tiki, I just want to showcase how I interpret it and how I run it, and then showcase the average times, because a lot of people don't like to average out everything. What they'll do is they'll get like 1-2 minute run with a greater rift where they had great mob density, great pylon placement, great everything, and then they'll post you and tell you, look, this build can do 10 minutes, but when you do it, it's like, hey, I got 4, I got 5 minutes. So that's the reason why I'm doing so many runs, so I can give you the average time I ended up getting out of the build, so you can realistically kind of expect where to fall between in terms of times and stuff. But anyways, that's enough about that. So check that out in a couple days. I'll have that coming out. Outside of all that, my Caesar's character's been progressing pretty well. I've been stocking up and been able to get some really nice rings. Let me see where I can find them at. I got a lot of focus and restraints. I'm going to play with these a little bit later, but I don't know when. I got another SMK. I think I got a total of about three for the season. 1 I gave away, 2 I just kept. Building up that 0 DPS, because eventually I'm going to do that. My Carnival build's coming out pretty nice. Got some nice rolls on these items like the attack speed and the crit chance and the socket. I've been getting a lot of attack speed. It's a build I kind of drop Ogdals and some people freak out, but I really like the attack speed. It's just pretty cool, but I'll probably have to go back to the laboratory and redo some things. I am looking for another Ancient Zunimasu String of Skulls with elite damage on it, so I can roll Poison Dart damage on there as well. That's something I'm also looking forward to. So I'm at a point where I got pretty solid gear. I did 47 really pretty comfortably. I think if I fish a little bit, I can definitely do 50 with the setup that I have. With Unity or without, or with Convention Elements, I think I can hit it. It's just how many runs I got to do. But I really want to keep getting my Paragon levels up, and I really want to go ahead and get that offhand Zunimasa with the elite damage and the reroll the Fetish Army damage to poison damage, dart damage. So I'm looking forward to that. Outside of that, I'm still building towards the Tickling of Asajj build, but like I said, I got a pretty crappy Tiki so far. But all my other gear is pretty solid, rock solid, like right on where it's supposed to be. So when I get better gear and stuff like that, I'll look into doing that run and what have you not. But outside of that, man, the gear and progression is going pretty solid. I'm only 557. Some people got it like way higher Paragon, but I'll get to that in a second. Why I don't worry too much about that, and I'm just worrying about myself and just building. The biggest thing that was discovered since the last time I posted this video is like the day after, or I think like a couple hours after I posted the video, number 3 season so far. A big exploit was found out. And this is along the lines of the blood shards. If you guys don't already know, you can check the other videos out, but long story short, there was a mechanic that was making it so that if a player was inside of a greater rift and he was in a group inside a greater rift and he left and went to go look in the bounty areas for a blood shard or blood thief, that blood thief was scaling its blood shards with proportional to what greater rift you were doing. So 4 people go in, let's say you're doing greater level, I don't know, 40, right? It takes about 3 minutes for you to farm it real fast. You go in, 1 person gets sent out. They go look for blood shards. They kill the blood shard goblin. Instead of getting like 300, they would give you like 3,000. And I heard it went up to like 5,000. But for the most part, just tell me basically 3,000 per blood shard goblin. So a lot of people did that. A lot of people even streamed it. I know Manor Cookie was doing it for a long time on Twitch. He got banned for that. And then everybody else, Gabinator, so on and so forth. Most people in his clan and other clans, gosh, streaming Polak, man, some other people. I understand that they were doing it because they thought Blizzard wasn't going to do anything. And, that's fine. I understand because, to be fair, Blizzard does do things like that, of that nature. Blizzard, they have a track history of stuff like this coming in and then no one getting punished, no one getting blamed or anything like that. So it makes sense when they said, hey, you know what? I want to do this because odds are Blizzard's not gonna, do anything about it, and I want to be competitive. But the big thing that just bothered me is like when people try to hide it or lie about it. Like they had people, even streamers, like saying, "Oh, I didn't use it. I didn't use the exploit. I didn't use the exploit. I play legit. I play legit." And they say all this stuff, and then your account gets rolled back, and it's like, well, obviously you did use it because your account got rolled back. So that's the thing that disturbs me most. I can understand players doing something because Blizzard's mistakes and them not balancing or them not punishing people or them not doing anything about exploiters. It actually is a feasible way to say, hey, look, Debo, man, I'm going to do what I got to do because, long story short, Blizzard has a history of not banning these guys, so I'm going to do it because I need to get ahead as well, and I can respect that, but I don't respect when people lie about it and you got to cover it up and act like you're something that you're not, and then you get re-rolled back and everybody knows you're lying, so... that was with the blood shard thing. The secondary thing involved, I think it was mostly involved monks. It was using Death's Bargain. Death's Bargain is, I do believe, an Act 5 drop. It is pants, and the pants have the affix of this. Gain an aura of death that deals 909% of your life per second as physical damage. Now, I think that 909 can range higher or lower. Life per second as physical damage to enemies within 16 yards. You no longer regenerate life. Now, some people might be like, yeah, Debo, we know about that. What's the matter? They were using Death's Bargain in combination with Rogar's Huge Stone. Rogar Huge Stones increase your life per second up to 75 to 100% based on your missing life. You all know that ring. And they were also using the monk ability called Near-Death Experience. When receiving fatal damage, you instead restore 35% life and 35% spirit and are immune to damage and controlling effects for 2 seconds. This effect may not occur this effect may occur once every 60 seconds. So, long story short, you put on the Death's Bargain pants with the Rogar's Huge Stone, and in combination with Near-Death Experience, the player would kill themselves, and then once you die, during that split second, let me see, make sure I read this correctly. Let me see here. Basically, if I am correct, and I'm trying to be very correct when I say this, you gather all the mobs you can, spamming mantra to keep the shield up, gets knocked down to 0 HP, and then he gets up again. Roger shits himself for the split second that he's at 0 health, right? Because Roger Ring Act is based upon what your life is missing, right? Providing an astronomical multiplier to your life per second. Death's bargains being affected by how high your life's life per second is. It combos off that. So they were doing things when they would just basically get a lot of enemies up, instantly die, and during that split second when they're dead, before near-death experience kicks in, the Rogars basically make it so that you get 75% to 100% of your base of your missing life back. So you die, the ring goes crazy, multiplies your life per second to an astronomical number, and then when you come back alive, your life regen is so high that when the death's bargain kicks in, it does that AoE effect that's physical to enemies within 16 yards, and since you have an astronomical amount of life per second, everything pretty much dies instantly. This was in the game for approximately, I think, about 2 weeks and 2 days, and it finally came out when a hardcore monk went to Greater Rift level 56. Now you might say, well, Debo, what's the problem with that? Everybody, the next nearest person was like 5150, so people obviously were like, well, what did this guy do? How did you get that many levels? That's kind of a little bit unheard of, right? Especially when you have a less amount of hours and you have less amount of paragons in playtime as the #1 monk in hardcore. And then people started investigating. It was discovered, and I think within a day later or so, it was nerfed, or it was basically Death's Bargain was, or it was hotfixed, and Death's Bargain was temporarily disabled. So the thing that gets me the most is, well, hell, you probably could have done this with the Witch Doctor too, because Witch Doctors with Spirit Life, right? I don't know how that would work, but long story short, the thing that really kills it for me is that this one, no one got punished, and I guess it's kind of hard to punish who did and who didn't, but this was in this season 3 for 2 weeks and 2 days. Now some people are going to say, hey Debo, it's been in the game a lot longer. Well, yeah, okay, but the big thing I'm saying, this was in the seasons for 2 weeks and about 2 days, and a lot of people got questionably high level Paragon. Well, no, I don't even want to say that. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I was a person that knew of this exploit, I would use it for clearing greater rifts at a very fast rate, especially in groups. You could clear 50s or 55s really fast and hide behind the fact that you're using this kind of way. Maybe you don't use it in the first couple of days, but if you're really smart, what you would do is, because some people were getting like level 40 gems in like day 1, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. So what a smart person could have done is said, hey man, let's just make a bunch of 50 keys. We're going to use this to make a bunch of level 50 keys, and then we're going to run 50s, and we're going to get a lot of Paragon, and abuse this mechanic to get ahead as far as possible. Let's keep this under wraps. So people were running this thing for 2 weeks straight. Who knows how many Paragon levels, items, how much they cleared, gem levels that they got using this exploit, and then Blizzard gets rid of it, no one gets punished. So again, the people who knew about this mechanic and who used it to their advantage got away with it, while other people who are just trying to play the game pretty straight up, they fall behind even more. I know some people may not care what I have to say about this, or just be like, hey, Debo, you're just complaining. I'm like, look, the big thing is, if we keep getting these seasons where every time something happens and everything gets kind of going bad, I won't go into it in this video, I'll go more in detail in another one, is that what you have to realize is, if they don't deal with this kind of stuff, it's going to get a bad reputation, and it's just going to get more and more accepted to do these types of things. So Blizzard needs to buckle down and do that a lot better, and put out really significant punishments for players who do this. They also need to look into mayhaps just sending a message, because you don't need to ban everybody. You just need to do one strong, consistent ban, and it tells people, if you do any of this kind of stuff again, we'll get you. Triple G Entertainment or whatever, the guys who do PoE, they don't play that, and the reason why they're able to do so well with the exploiters, they can't ever catch them all, but they can send a message that if we find you, we will. What's that one guy said? I will find you and I will kill you. Right? Like, I will find you and I will ban you. At least they make an effort to. Blizzard hasn't. And then also, like, there's been like a guy who was streaming like with a fake Cryptarian thing, but he was like botting a barbarian for like 24 hours straight, and it just was disgusting about how well the bots are in Diablo, man. It was picking up loot, picking up keys, organize it, breaking down all the stuff, picking up only good legendaries. Like, between the exploits and the botting and all that kind of crazy stuff, like, they have to do something because it's getting out of hand. And more people are not going to be interested in seasons and stuff. And outside of that, like I said, a lot of people tell me like, hey, Debo, are you just jealous? I'm like, nah, man, I don't care. I just want the game experience, and I want the community to grow, and I want everybody to have a good time. And I just want to get these exploiters and stuff out of the game because it ruins the fun for a lot of people. And it makes a lot of people not want to even get invested into the game because your time invested seems like it's diluted, or basically it is just not appreciated when Blizzard doesn't do anything against people who break all the time and mess up all this kind of stuff, and they don't deal with them accordingly. So I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 5 to 7 days. I'm still just doing like my 8 hours a day of Diablo, or about 40 hours a week, or 45. I'm getting some nice items, and I'm actually enjoying myself and building the community. But like I said, I like to make these videos to keep everybody up to date what's going on seasons, because there might be some people who just don't have time to play seasons, but they want to know what's going on. And if they can invest in the seasons, I want to make sure everybody knows 100% what they're getting into. I just provide the information. If people don't like about what I'm talking about, hey man, like, I'm just talking about what happened in the game. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, in a couple days, look forward to that speedrun guide I got coming out. And in another week, I'll update you guys and see how it's going. I should be Paragon level 600 by then. I'm just taking my time. Been doing a lot of Final Fantasy stuff because I'm branching other games. I'm not giving up on Diablo. I'm still maintaining 40 to 45 hours a week. So if you see me playing Final Fantasy one day, don't freak out. I'm not leaving. It's just that it's nice to have an MMORPG game I can play and enjoy. And the one big thing I like about that game, because it's like you got to put in a lot of good hard work and effort, and it's not like just simply just handed to you. When you see somebody with gear in that game at high level, you know they worked hard for it, and that's what I like about it. It's just, you know, the whole thing about you put in time to these games and you want to have a nice character that shows off that you committed yourself to it, and then, you know, and then you can help friends out and power level them and help them out, group together, or inspire other players to do well for themselves. I mean, I think that's the bigger picture. Oh wow, I got about 3 minutes left before this is a 20-minute video. Sorry, this is a long video because there's a lot of stuff that happened. Outside of all that, players have been complaining about people. Two things: they're still complaining about the barbarians and everybody running ahead. And my personal feeling is, if a barbarian is running ahead and he's killing everything, just get carried, pick up all the items and enjoy yourself. Put on Netflix on the second monitor. Who cares, right? Or just don't have him in your game. Also, people are complaining about how, like, it takes so long to get rift shards or whatever from bounties, and they hate how people are closing the rifts and they're not doing full clears. Let me tell you something. Rift shards used to be 5 shards for 1 rift. Now, and we used to have rifted forward and all that different kind of stuff, right? Now it's 5 shards for 5 rift runs. If you seriously can't spend the time to do some bounties, check out my speed farming guide my speed farming guide in the future for bounties. But if you can't do bounties to get your rift shards, when you get 5 to 6 rift shards and you get 5 to 6 rift runs, when it used to be it took 5 shards to get 1 run, there's no hope for you. At this point, people hate bounties. Or I was reading this forum section, people hated bounties so much. They said, well, the reason why I want a full clear is because I hate doing bounties and it takes so much time. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. 8 minutes for solo, 4 minutes in a party, maybe even 3 if you got a fast party. You know, if you can't farm your rift keystone shards, then you don't need to do rifts. It's a part of the game. It might be fluff material, but it's necessary. Like I tell people, like, we just can't, like, Blizzard can't give us everything for free, right? It would just make the game less and less fun. They've already given us some easy ways to get these full tier, like, people got better gear sets than their non-seasonal characters within the 2 weeks, and that's really silly. I mean, there is no gear progression in Diablo 3 anymore because people ask for so many buffs. But anyways, 19 seconds till 20 minutes, and I'm going to end this off real quick. See you guys in the next video. Look forward to my new speed farming guides for Jade and Tiki. Hope you guys have a good day, and good luck in seasons.